Good day, learners. Welcome. We are continuing with our lesson on geometry of 2D shapes, classifying and investigating triangles. However, today we are going to deal mainly with practice questions, and let's look at the first one. In triangle ABC, angle A equals to 50 degrees, angle A equals to angle B, and AC equals to 8 centimeters and AP equals to 6 centimeters. Now, it's important that as we read that, we make our markings. So angle A is 50, there's angle A. Let me use a different color. Angle A is 50 degrees, and angle A equals to angle B, so that angle equals to that angle. That's the mark that we are making. And then line AC is 8 centimeters, and line AB is 6 centimeters. Now we are then told we need to first determine CB. We determine line CB. If angle A is 50 degrees, that means angle B is also 50 degrees. And again, opposite sides, if this side is 8 centimeters, that means this side is also 8 centimeters. So CB equals to 8 centimeters. That means this is an isosceles triangle. And then calculate angle C. If this is 100 and that is 100 degrees, then we know that angle A plus angle B plus angle C equals to 180. And we already know that angle A is 50 degrees and angle B is 50 degrees, and then angle C is what we need to know. We add these two and they give us 100 degrees plus C equals to 180 degrees. Therefore, angle C equals to 180 minus 100, which is 80 degrees. That is question 1. Let's look at the next question. Investigate the sum of angles of a quadrilateral. Keyword quadrilateral, quad meaning 4. So like your quad bike has 4 wheels. So quadrilateral means a shape that has 4 sides. ABC, using the knowledge we have about angles of a triangle. What do we know about the angles of a triangle? We know that the sum of the angles of a triangle equals 180. But then they give us a 4-sided shape, which means it's not a triangle. But if we draw a line from a diagonal line from B to D, that means we now have triangle ABD, the top one here, and we have a triangle at the bottom, BCD at the bottom. So we've got 2 triangles joined together. What we know is the first triangle, the sum of the angles equals 180, and the next one also equals 180. Therefore, we are now saying, as we investigate this, you've realized that triangle ABD, oops, I've got 2 A's, let me rub that off. It's triangle ABD plus triangle BCD, and this one we know is 180, and that one is also 180 degrees. Therefore, the answer there is 360 degrees. So we are now able to conclude and say that means the sum of the angles of a quad, angles of a quadrilateral, angles of a quadrilateral, the sum of those angles equals to 360 because it is made up of 2 triangles. So that is a conclusion we are making about a quadrilateral. So we are again, the question said use the knowledge we have of the sum of angles of a triangle. We'll keep the pen as white and see. Let's move on to the third question. And it says, investigate the sum of the angles of a pentagon. Another new word. that we are now seeing a pentagon, which is a shape that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. And it's called EFGHI, using the knowledge we have about the angles of a triangle. So now we know that they want us to use the triangle that we've already done. So I will break this figure into 3 triangles. And what do you notice? Triangle EFI equals to 180 degrees. FIG equals to 180 degrees. And triangle RGHI also equals to 180 degrees. So it's 180 plus 180 plus 180 degrees. And what do we get? 180 plus 180 plus 180 gives us 540 degrees. Therefore, what is our conclusion? Is that the sum of the angles of a pentagon equals 540 degrees, using the knowledge we have about triangles. Let's look at the next one. Gets more interesting. The shape becomes different. It says now let's investigate the sum of the angles of a hexagon. It now gets easier because we are able to say, if I break this down into 2 triangles, and we've already done a 4-sided, a quad, so it would be 180 degrees there, 180 degrees at the bottom, and I keep the quad as 360, or I can break it down into 4 triangles and make it 2 180s. And what do we have? We have 180 degrees plus 360 degrees plus 180 degrees, and that gives us 720 degrees. And so we are concluding that the sum of angles of a hexagon equals to 720 degrees. You can use it for any shape that you come across, and as you familiarize yourself with it, you are able to see shortcuts that you can use to find the answer quicker. Let's now look at the next one, which is a heptagon. Heptagon means it has 7 sides. We use the same knowledge that we have. We have a triangle there, and we have a triangle there, and we have a triangle there, and we can have a triangle there. So that we have 180, 180 degrees, we have 180 degrees, 180 degrees, 180 degrees. So instead of writing 180, 180, I look at that and I say it's going to be 180 degrees multiplied by 5. 180 degrees multiplied by 5, let's work this out. There are 2 ways you can work that out. You can say 18 multiplied by 5, which is 90. And when that gives you 90, you then add the 0 you did not use, and that gives you 900. The other way you can use is you then say divide 18 by 2 multiplied 5 by 2. So 18 divided by 2 is 9. 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. 9 times 10 is 90. And then you add the 0 you did not use, and that gives you 900 degrees. Therefore, we conclude that the sum of angles of a heptagon will be equal to 900 degrees. Let's look at the next one. Now we have 3 figures that were given, and the first one is an octagon, the next one is a decagon, and the next one is dodecagon. The first one has 8 sides, the next one has 10, and the last one has 12 sides. Those are the names that are used for those figures. Now, we cannot all the time divide it into triangles and find the number of triangles you can make. However, we can look back at what we did. Let's go back to the one before. It is a heptagon, and a heptagon has 7 sides, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 triangles. Let's go back to the previous one even further. And the one we wrote 360. Let's divide that into 2 triangles, rub it out, and have 180 and 180. So we have 4 triangles. So out of 6 sides, we have 4 triangles, and then out of 7 sides, we have 5 triangles. So then it shows that out of 8 sides, we're going to have 6 triangles. So how do we write that in shorthand so that we understand it? It would be the sides minus 2. That's what we've noticed, that we seem to be 2 less, and then multiplied by 180. So let's use that and see. Sides, we've got 8 sides, so it would be 8 minus 2, and it would be multiplied by 180, which gives us 8 minus 2 is 6, so it would be 6 multiplied by 180 degrees. And let's press that in our calculator. 6 multiplied by 180 degrees, and it gives us 1080. So we have 1080 degrees. So that is the outcome of an 8-sided figure. We can now do the 10-sided on the same page without calculation, with just the calculation. It would be sides minus 2, so it would be 10 minus 2, which multiplied by 180 degrees, which is 10 minus 2 is 8 multiplied by 180 degrees. And we again press that, 8 multiplied by 180 degrees, and it gives us 1440. So the sum of the angles will be 1440 degrees. And of course, we can do the last one the same way. It will be 12 sides minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees, which is 10 multiplied by 180 degrees. Oops, what am I writing? 10 multiplied by 180 degrees. And 10 multiplied by 180 is 1800 degrees. So now we can use that formula to calculate any figure of any shape, because now we know, as long as we can know how many sides there are, we'll subtract 2 multiplied by 180, and that gives us the size of the angles, sum of the angles of that triangle or of that shape that they've given us. That is a lot we have done today. However, let's break for now and go for an ad break.